Hi, guys. Welcome to the Overthinking Olympics. This is how you can break analysis paralysis. I'm Nikki Fogdemore, the Mojo Maker, and welcome back to our Monday Mojo. Every day, I know countless people, and I know this happens more at night as well, but you wake up and you're running mental laps around the what ifs. It's competition I call the Overthinking Olympics, and we all know this feeling. We get stuck in thinking about something to beyond where you absolutely can't take action. And this is the thing about overthinking, it is that it feels productive. You tell yourself you're being diligent and careful and thorough, but the reality is it doesn't create that at all. It creates a lack of ability to actually follow through. It creates what is formerly known as inertia. The longer you overthink, the more stuck you become. And for anyone striving to align their success with a deeper vision, this is the ultimate roadblock. Furthermore, overthinking is like heating up your engine of a car. You're sitting there in idle, it's not going anywhere, and one moment you're just going to blow a gasket. The breaking point is when overthinking becomes unsustainable. And I guess this is why I wanted to create this video today, because I know that it's the 2 a.m. CEO worries. It's sitting there going, should I, shouldn't I, what do I do? Juggling big decisions, whether it's career, relationships, the trajectory of your future. Every choice feels monumental when you can sit in overthinking, convincing yourself that if I just thought this through, every possible outcome, I'll land on the perfect path. Now, there is magic in taking breath, which means the leap and the landing. There's going to be a space where there's a lot of unknown, and you have to trust that. Because the problem is the more you think, the less you act. And the less you act, the more overwhelmed you become, and you get more stuck and you feel like everything else is passing you by. So if you're exhausting yourself thinking about a future that you're not moving forward to, I wanted to give you a few tips that I help and coach on and actually apply myself daily to move myself out of overthinking analysis and move into taking the next right step. So this is your wake-up call. Overthinking isn't just costing you time, it's costing you opportunities. And it's really, really important that you get into a way where you can move yourself out of staying stuck and recognize the subconscious behavior of when you're just churning through ideas that are taking up massive amount of hard drive space in your brain, and they're actually not serving you a purpose. So what's the hidden cost of overthinking? Time, energy, and potential. And you're like, Nikki, why are you telling me all this? Because it's just going to make me think about it even more. I realize that, but I want to actually really bring this all to light to help you move away from getting into this paralysis stage and into taking action. So let's talk some numbers. According to a recent study published by Harvard, the Harvard Business Review says that overthinkers spend 30% more time delivering on decisions. 30% more time than their decisive counterparts. You always wonder why people are so lucky because they've done X, Y, Z. Probably they've just taken a leap of faith and they've made a calculated choice based on a number of facts and their current decision. This is the time you can't get back. And overthinking drains your cognitive resources. By the time you're ready to act, you've depleted the mental energy required to follow through. So you're not sharp, you're not focused, and you're not mentally fit. So here's the kicker. Overthinking does not improve outcomes. Being absolutely discerning is a different way to look at it. So research, again, I wanted to put some numbers in here, shows that people who overanalyze are just as likely to make mistakes as those who act with confidence. So if your overthinking isn't improving your results, why are you still doing it? I always say, what is the point? You've got to swipe left. We overthink, I think, because there's fear beneath the surface. If we're to be particularly honest with ourselves, it's normally because of a lack of self-confidence, something's gone wrong in the past, or you're afraid of the outcomes. This is a really, really difficult place to come from, and I always say replace fear with curiosity. At its core, overthinking is a fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong move. We trick ourselves into believing that if we just gather a little bit more information or wait a little bit longer, or someone else will come and tell us something, then we'll find certainty. The one certainty is nothing is certain and nothing is finite. It doesn't exist. The real world doesn't reward perfect plans. It rewards consistent action. Let me repeat that for you. The real world, it doesn't reward perfect plans. It rewards consistent action. So the truth is, every step forward, it carries a risk, but staying stuck is far greater. And the rest that comes with that is massive regret. And I'm sure we all know when we've regretted things, where we haven't taken opportunities, or we've done decisions that perhaps haven't worked out, but you can always learn from them. So how do you break free from analysis paralysis, this overthinking Olympics? You've got to end that loop, that consistent cycle in your head where you're sitting there going, oh, if only I had a little bit more information. What if this? But what if that didn't sell? But what if I met the perfect person? Over the years, I've really developed a system to help myself break out of the mental trap of overthinking. And these are the strategies that I've used personally and the ones that I teach others. Number one, impose decision deadlines. I know this sounds ridiculous, but set yourself a timer. Give yourself a window to decide. 15 minutes, an hour, a day. When the timer ends, make the call. This isn't about being reckless. It's about training your brain to value momentum over perfection. Number two, limit information overload. There's a fine line between preparation and paralysis. Set boundaries for how much research you do. For example, I'll read 3 articles on this, or make this phone call, or take this topic to a friend, and then I'll decide. Trust me, more information doesn't always mean better decisions, and you've got to trust the information you are coming from. Be careful who you take advice from. If that person isn't the one who's responsible for paying your bills or related to the outcome, then they're only going to give you their perspective. Trusting your own decisions requires a leap of faith, and it builds the necessary experience to become better over time. Number three, ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Because often not taking action is because you're afraid of an outcome. You have to confront that fear and replace it with curiosity. If you don't actually take a leap of faith, how will you know? Often we overthink because we magnify the stakes of failure. Pause and ask yourself, what is the actual worst case scenario? Most of the time, the answer isn't nearly as catastrophic as it feels. Write it down. Make sure you take out the overthinking and put it onto paper, because cognitively, it actually removes a lot of that hard drive space and gives you the ability to look at it for facts and stats rather than attaching emotion. And number four, I think really, really important, and I do this often, change your state. Sometimes you just need to reset. Step outside, go for a walk, or shift to a new environment. Studies show that physical movement can break repetitive thought patterns and spark creativity. I'll say that again. Physical movement can break repetitive thought patterns and spark creativity. So if you're wanting to have an idea or think about something, move while you're thinking about it. Walking, running, swimming, anything that's going to be giving you a cognitive reset. I know that for me, when I'm swimming or running or doing anything like that, that's where I do my best thinking, and I can come back and apply that knowledge. But sitting in front of a piece of information or in front of your computer and trying to read through lots of things on the internet isn't going to help you access that deeper GPS on what's right. And the last thing, number five, I know this is going to sound scary, but you've got to adopt a bias for action. You have to be an action taker. Here's the reality. Clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. Action creates feedback, and that feedback refines your path. The sooner you act, the sooner you'll learn what works and what doesn't. It's the only way to get experience. If you continue to ask Siri, ask Google, ask your ChatGPT, or ask other people, then you'll never take any action, and chances are the information you're getting at that point is obsolete by the time you're ready to move forward. Nothing beats experience. And this is why I built the 21-day challenge on Accelerate recently, because I wanted to give people a chance to build their confidence by taking action on the tiniest things one day at a time. I know that breaking the cycle of overthinking isn't easy. That's why I wanted to make sure that we could take a lot of this information and apply it afterwards, and that these videos were more educational and more of a coaching session than rather just going, oh yeah, what are you going to do after this? Are you going to apply these techniques? Are you going to have a bias for taking action? It's not a motivational gimmick. I think it's just a really simple way of trying to get people out of inertia, out of being a passenger in their lives and into being a driver's seat. A confidence-building, goal-set-done system, a proven framework if you're tired of spinning the wheels or spinning the plates and are ready to start driving forward. So I hope this video helped you today. Surely it's on my blog as well if you haven't read that, on nikkifogdamore.com/blog. And over 21 days, if you jump on board and join the challenge, you can learn how to rewire your decision-making process, build the confidence to act with purpose, not hesitation, reclaim energy and focus you've been wasting on unproductive thoughts. Procrastination is just, delaying all the beauty that awaits you and actually taking action. So This is more than just about sitting around and going, I know I overthink. I want you to ask yourself, what am I going to do about it? It's aligning your actions with a deeper vision of what success really means to you. It's about becoming the kind of person who leads yourself with clarity, confidence, and purpose. You're not going to get it right all the time, but that's where you build agility, resilience, experience, and an advantage over anyone else because you dared to give things a go. The question you need to answer today, I always say to people when they ring me up on the phone, what's one decision you've been overthinking? What's one step you've been putting off because you've been waiting for the perfect time or the perfect plan or the perfect person? Here's your answer. The perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect person doesn't exist. The only way forward is to start by being all of those things yourself and take the next right step. So jump in and show yourself you can do it. If you want to join me on the 21-day challenge, then hop on the link below. I'll put it in the description box or go to nikkifogdemore.com/21-day challenge. We're actually going to give a prize away every week for the lifetime of that challenge just because. And remember, you are in the driver's seat of your life with all the information available to us on the internet, with all the coaches, all the books, all the tools. None of that matters if you're not prepared to take one tiny micro action in your day every day to get you one step closer to what you really want. Because the only thing worse than overthinking is staying in the overthinking. This is your permission to get out of staying stuck in the comfort zone and moving into a place where you've never landed before. And you're only going to do that by replacing fear with curiosity. And I guarantee you can do it. I'm Nikki Fogdemore. This is your Micro Mojo. Thanks for joining me. And I love to hear your comments and how you've given this a go to reframe overthinking and taking action in bite-sized chunks that will add up to radical results.